A lot of people think if you earn more money, you'll automatically have more money. But if you actually look closely, you'll see the opposite is true. You'll see people earning more, but they're still broke, they're still stressed, and they're still wondering where has it all gone. And you'll see people on normal incomes quietly building wealth. So the question is, what are they doing differently? Because if you get this wrong, it doesn't matter how much you earn, you will always feel behind. So if you had to start again today, where you've got no money, no investments, absolutely nothing, what would you actually do? And in this video, I'm going to walk you through how you can build £100,000 investing. And this is based on everything I've learned since 2019, including going through COVID, which was one of the harshest and fastest crashes we've seen in the stock market. And just to be clear, this isn't financial advice. This is what has worked for me and how you can think about it for yourself. Because when you're starting from zero, it can feel like a distant hope and it can feel like you're guessing your way there. And we need to fix that and help you get more in your investment account. And the biggest mistake you can make is thinking your income is the problem. It's not. And I know that's something that you don't want to hear, and it's annoying because it is much easier to say, if I just earned more, everything would be sorted. But what actually happens is that as your income goes up, your lifestyle will most likely quietly creep up with it. And you don't even notice it happening. You live in a nicer house or flat, you have more takeaways, you go on more nights out, generally spend a bit more. And somehow, years later, you have earned more, but you're still in the same position. And I've done this, and I realised this quite early on in a slightly painful way when I was about 18. I had £1,000 sitting in my account, and it was just burning a hole in my pocket because I felt rich. You know that feeling where you're like, I need to spend this. And I wanted to show people I had money. And I was going out that night in Bristol. That day I went into a shop in Cabot Circus and I was looking at a Kenzo t-shirt and it was about 100 quid. You can tell I was 18. That top was disgusting. But in my mind I was thinking, this screams wealth. Anyway, talked myself out of it, which in hindsight I'm glad about, but that feeling didn't go away. So as I say, I went out that night to Prism and instead of spending what I normally would, because I felt rich, I spent about 400 quid. And that's not the worst bit. As I say, it was in Prism. And the next morning, I was at my mate's house and I didn't think I spent that much. So I was pleased. I thought, I'll check my NatWest. And bang, you know when it hits you in the stomach that I spent that much money. And that day I didn't go home till about 4 o'clock in the afternoon because I knew I'd lie on my bed and spiral into, why did I do that? Why? And looking back on it, the worst thing was that I didn't even get a girl's number that night. But that was probably because I was too scared to speak to a girl. But that was an important lesson. And that's when you realise it's not about how much you earn, because you can easily lose it. And in this case, I blew a month's wages when I was 18 on a night out, and I had nothing to show for it. We all work too hard to lose that money easily. If you don't fix that, you'll always feel like you're starting again. So instead of trying to rely on willpower, you need a system. Because let's be honest, you're not going to be disciplined every month, because some months you're on it, you're motivated, but other months, not a chance. So you need something that works even when you can't be bothered. You need a system. And the way to think about it is simple. Pay yourself first by automating your investments, your savings and your fixed costs. Cut what does not matter, and in my case it's a £400 night out in Prism, and earn more where it counts. Because once things are automated, you stop making decisions, and that is where most people go wrong. They rely on themselves instead of building something that runs without them. By automating, your money moves before you touch it, not after it. And that one shift changes everything. Because once things are automated, you stop making decisions, and that is where most people go wrong. They rely on themselves instead of building something that runs without them. And by automating things, your money moves before you touch it, not after it. And that one shift changes everything. The next step is investing. And this is where you might be overthinking things. You might feel like you need to get it perfect, pick the right thing, time it properly. But that is not what matters the most. What matters is time in the market. Because when you start, you'll doubt yourself. You'll see your investments go up, you'll also see them go down. And you will think, have I messed this up when they do go down? That's normal, and everybody goes through that. But the difference is that some people stop and some people keep going. And over time, that is what separates the two. So instead of trying to be clever, focus on being consistent with your investments. Now, this is the bit that people want a straight answer on. Like, just tell me what to buy. I get it, but I can't, as I'm not a financial advisor and it's not the right thing for me to do. This is where most people mess it up. They invest in things they do not understand because somebody online made it look easy. And that's how you lose confidence and not just money. So a better way to think about it is this: only put money into things that you actually understand. Because when things drop, and they will, you need a reason to stay in. Otherwise you'll panic and you'll pull it out at the worst possible time. And for a lot of people starting out, that is why simple things like low-cost index funds come up a lot. Not because they're exciting, but because they're simple. They spread your money across loads of different companies, so you're not relying on one thing being right. And they tend to be low cost, which matters more than most people think, because costs can quietly eat into your returns over time. And it's not about finding the best thing, it's about finding something that you can understand and that you can stick with, and that will rise in price over time. And one of the quickest ways to mess things up is chasing quick wins. And it's very easy to do, especially when you're online seeing people making money quickly. So if you follow them and go all in on something, you have nothing else, you don't understand it, and if it goes down, you can get forced into bad decisions at the worst possible time. And once that happens, you lose your progress. And this is why structure and investing in things you understand matters. So you're never in a position where one decision sets you back. So if you are starting again, or you feel like you need a reset, this is how you should think about it. First, get stable. Make sure you're not constantly under pressure from a financial point of view, because if you are, you will make bad decisions. Then build consistency by investing in things that you have researched, even if it is a small amount. Just make it regular, and over time, you increase it when you can. Not because you're chasing some perfect return, because you're building momentum. This is not about being flashy, it's about being consistent. And the truth is, this is going to feel slow at the start. And that is the bit that nobody really tells you, because slow does not sell. But slow is what actually works. And most people quit right before it starts to feel something and compound interest starts to do its thing. So if you do feel behind, you're probably not behind. You've just not been shown how it actually works. But now you have. The goal is not to be perfect. It's just to not stop. Because if you can do that, you'll hopefully look back in a few years' time and realize you're a lot closer than you thought. And before I end this video, I'd just like to ask one small favor. If you like this video, there'll be a link in the description where I share simple strategies to help you stop losing money, start investing confidently, and build a system that actually grows your wealth over time. And you have no idea, the small change or the things that you implement today could be the thing that changes everything. So keep going.